Alright, live. Wow, has it worked? If you are there, I'm struggling to get it up. It looks like I've managed to get it up. I need to test one or two things. Okay, I can see something. I'm gonna just right, anyone out there, just give me a comment on visual and audio, please. Morning, Neil Malan, Mora. Johanna Woolridge, good morning. Clive, Mike Reeler, Dino Supremo. It's working, thanks Dino. I'm gonna see what else I can get working. Albert Murphy, good morning. Copy de Jager. More yours here is. I'm struggling a little bit to see the chat. The last line of the chat. I'll see if I can do something about that. Early guys, but we're here. And cheers. I've been meaning to clean my glasses because I can't starting to see in this light. The light might be a bit funny. My face might be a bit dark because I'm sitting with my back to a very nice view. I don't really want to change that. Where's Milo? So as everybody would have seen, the dam is overflowing. It started overflowing last night between about 7 and 8, as far as I can figure it out. I put the pictures up as soon as I got them. I'm waiting for some better footage from my dad. He's going to go out to the dam again for us. He was on his way to go for a weekend, but he was going to do that. Right. Okay, I got comments here. Mike, where's that? Mike. No, that's not. The water overflowing the dam. If someone is asking where's the water going, that's currently overflowing the dam. And well, it's going to the ocean, but I don't think it's going to reach the ocean soon. The river is very dry and it'll take some time for the river bed, although the Groot-Rivier water has already flowed down. No, so the river is open, so it's probably going to go to the ocean. But you can never stop all the water. Dino Supremo picture is good too. Okay, so the chat's got stuck for a while. KP de Jager, Morios, you're live. Isaac, Morios, audio 100%. We can see and hear you. Thanks, guys. Sien en hoor jou hier. Your bird clear. Yeah, a lot of birds here. Morning. Mike Reeler, Clive Streak. Johanna, thanks, you can see and hear. Patches. Francis Gibb, Andre Durant, yes, Arlene Dupree wanted to comment on the beautiful picture of water. Yeah, the picture that I posted last night of the water going over the dam, that was an incredible picture. That was taken by JJ Dupree. And I'll have to send him a message on that. That was an excellent picture. Considering it was full moon and it was at night. Anthony Bird, good morning everybody. It's a beautiful morning in Johannesburg as it is in Pella. That's great to hear. I thought you were getting some rain up there, but that's probably passed already. Walter's morning, love the view of the date palms and mountain in the back. That's why I set it up like this. I agree with you fully. So this is where I have my morning coffee. When I have time. So cheers everyone, coffee. Werner Amsel. Môre jaars, het lyk pragtig daar. Okay, so we're not up to 7 o'clock yet. I think it's just fair to wait till 7. I've got some things to show about the dam, the river, and some historic things. I struggled to get it set up. My setup is only halfway working. I can't do it like I did the previous ones with just the phone, because I want to show some things on screen, and we'll have to see how that works. I'm still learning how to do it. Hi Bets Kuman, super opgewonde. I'm hoping I live up to the expectation in this one. Let me give you let me see if it's working. I'm going to give you an idea of what the plan is. Just going to shrink that down, and that's just can you all see that? Let me know if you can see that picture of the slides. And I have a problem with the chat that the bottom message is halfway cut off, and I don't know exactly how to correct that. Let's see if I can change something here. That looks better. Now I can read. Louis Pieter, jy sal ons glo in jou. Thanks Louis. It takes a bit of work, but it's very rewarding doing the videos. Sean Bird, many thanks for the interesting videos. Albert Murphy, duidelik, yes. Okay, so holding the slide there, I'm going to see if I can make it slightly larger. This is research I've done, and I've done quite a bit of it over the last couple of years. The person in the top center there is my grandfather, and I'll show a bit more about him. And he was heavily involved in getting approval for the dam, for Kouga Dam. So he was in parliament at that stage, and he was also farming in Potensie at that stage. And before the dam was even built, like you would have seen, the dam was started building. The starting of the dam building was in 1957. But in around 1936, my grandfather had built a smaller dam down in the Klein Rivier, in the small river next to Potensie, and they built an irrigation system with canals that spread the water over, as I understand it, about 7 kilometers. And one of the things that I want to do in future, and I'm working on it already, is to make a video series about the history of the Gamtoos Valley from about 1880 till the dam was built, and after the dam was built, and you'll see why as we continue. Another 3 minutes. So, okay, just a bit more coffee. We'll give it another 2 minutes, and then we can actually start, just in case anyone wants to join. We said we're going to start at 7, so let's just keep that to 7, even though we're a bit early. I know someone's going to ask, where's Milo? Milo's right here. Let's see if I can move the camera. It's a bit dangerous doing that because it's on a precarious thing that I built up there. There's Milo. Okay, Anthony Bird, yes, Dino Supremo, QS Elliot, yes, you can see the picture. Elmarie Meyer, yeah, I can see. Smoking Zayed, morning from Limpopo, good morning Smoking. Jou oupa was slim, uit geweet as is nodig water, yes. It was about the water. I'm going to see if I can, I don't want to bump the table, I'm going to see if I can just move it a centimeter or two. And I can sit a little bit better. Okay. So, the dam was not only built to store water for droughts, although that was a big factor. It was also built to reduce the impact of floods. Both of those things were needed. I don't know if any of you know I'm going to try and add something in here, which I'm afraid to do a little bit because it might crash some stuff, but I think it will be worthwhile to add it in. Let me just see if I can get it up. Milo's there and coffee. That seems to be not working. Kan mense in die buiteland laat weet, wil sien hoeveel is julle? I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. Kan mense in die buiteland? Good morning, sir. Nice getting real-time updates from the world you grew up in. Thanks, David. Clive Street. Clive, I'm not sure I understand. Okay, it's 7. Good morning, everyone. I have no idea how many people are watching. We'll see if we can get just the number, just out of interest sake, 90. Okay, all right, so first of all, it's just coffee, and I do the live stream so I can learn how to do it. I set up last night trying to set up stuff. It was a bit of a spur of the moment thing, the same as the previous ones, but I have some things that I want to share. 9088, thanks guys, thanks for checking that. Destin Bernard, morning Destin, goeiemorgen. What else? Okay, all right. So everyone sees that picture up there. That was part of the research, and I've done a lot of research, and like I said, up there in the picture is my grandfather, and he actually wrote a book that he finished in the late 60s, early 70s, just before the dam was finished. And he wrote the book about the Gamtus Valley and the dam. Henny Scott. Hi, ek kyk van Australië. Hi Henny. Good to have you. Hi Niels. Môre. Het jy al gepak, Niels? Is jy al op pad? Right, so the picture shown on the screen there is the start of this research I've done, but most of the research was already done by my grandfather. I could dig through his old stuff, but I also moved around and I got some information from a lot more people. And I want to make a series on the valley, but it takes a lot more work than just the normal videos I'm doing currently. It's really difficult to get it done. So, yes, I'm going to some photos of the dam overflowing. I don't have a new photo since last night yet. As soon as I get one, I'll show it up here. But I am going to show you some other photos about the dam overflowing. Elmarie Meyer, thanks for the news about the dam. Het al gebly in Jeffries. En hy is gaan oppas net om met onder die damwal. Kan nie glo, hy's vol. Baie gebid vir Kouga Dam. Ek bly nou in Limpopo. Elmarie, thanks for that. Video, audio, 100%. Thanks, Johannes, Petrus van Zyl. Good morning, everyone. Right, so next picture. This is, the pictures are not in order. I set them in order and then this thing scrambles them again. So we're going to try, and I'm going to come back to this one in a moment. This is a picture of my grandfather standing next to a dam in Africa. It's not the Borabassa, I'm not sure which dam it is. At that stage he was very into development. Right, this picture here, I'm going to see if I can make it bigger. It's a bit risky making it bigger as well. Let's see if I can make it bigger. I'm going to struggle with that. Okay, so the guy in the blue sweater there is myself. That was in 1996 with a camera around my neck. It appears that even back then I was already investigating floods and flood damage. That was in 1996 in the Gamtoos Valley when both the Groot Rivier and the Baviaans Rivier came down in flood. And if I remember correct, back then the flow was 2,000 cubic. The picture's getting stuck a bit. Okay, so everybody knows that the Kouga River comes from the Langkloof side and the Groot Rivier comes from the Karoo side, and they can flood at different times. Either of them can flood, and sometimes they flood together. And this picture was taken when they were flooding at the same time, and the river was about 30 times its normal. Hi smoking, Barbara, Charlie Milan, ek gaan nou Kouga dam toe om foto's te sien. In the comments there, my dad just commented, he's gone to he's on his way to go to take some pictures and video for us of Kouga Dam, and he comments that the picture taken in moonlight was onverbeterlik in the English. Niels, yes, halfway Vrydag wat kom ry, and okay, with a couple of turns before he reaches here. Right, so this was 1996, and it deposited in some areas. One of my father's orchards, not this one, but had an area where soil was taken away 1.2 meters deep. We could see it because we could see not the plow, the ripper, the toe marks of the ripper in the substrate, in the bottom soils. We could see the marks there, and we know that the bulldozer was ripping 1.2 meters deep, and it took away soil 1.2 meters deep, and it was a huge operation putting that soil back. Then this was taken in a different field where it put down about 1.2 meters of soil. These trees are big trees. We're standing near their tops. So the water put down the sand that it took away in another place. Lelani Heineke says thanks Charlie. Patches says thanks Charlie for taking the pictures. Next picture. This is Kouga Dam overflowing, and I'm going to, this is going to be difficult. Let's see if I can get it quickly. The date on that. Nope, not that one. Sorry about that. I will be with you in a moment. I want to see. Nope, it doesn't mention a date. This looks like roughly around it's not 71, it's way beyond that, it's way after that, looking at the plant growth on the construction sites. So this would have been around 80, between 80 and 90, 1980 and 1990, the dam overflowing. This is where I wanted to go with it. This is where it gets real. Flooding is a serious business. See if I can move it up there. This is people being rescued with a boat. Now, I'm not exactly sure. See if I can read what goes on there. I can read it here. Some of the article was snipped away, but his wife Roseanne was close behind with a baby strapped to her back and 3 children at her side. As they reached higher ground, he heard a woman and 2 children shouting for help. He left his family and went to their rescue, helping them into a high tree. When he turned to his own family, the water had risen considerably. He grabbed 2 pieces of plank and made a platform in the tree and helped his family up. Soon they were joined by others, and before long there were 9 people hanging on for dear life. It was raining heavily and the children were shivering. Then, with tears in his eyes, a voice packed with emotion, he took up 3 children in his arms starting to sag, and when he looked again, his 2-year-old son was dead. The water was rising steadily, lapping at their legs, when another son, too tired to hang on any longer, disappeared. Then, to his horror, he saw a giant tree wash towards them. It hit them, killing 2 more children. Then he realized there was nothing he could do. They would all die. So the stark reality of flooding is that there's always tragedy. Mr. Twas Kwayuela saw his wife and 6 children swept away in front of his eyes. He was the sole survivor of a family of 8. A lot of people had to be rescued. So this is the 1971 flood. Neil's asking, can you also get water from the dam? Question, and we'll get to that. Let me just see if I can get the date on that article. This was the 1971 flood. This flood happened. That's the fish eagle. It's just behind the trees there. Okay, so this was the 1971 flood in 21 August. In the Oosterlig is the newspaper that reported on this. This was after the dam was finished, the year after it was finished, just as it was finished. The dam was supposed to help with the flooding, but when it rains like that, what else can you do? A big problem back then was flooding in the Karoo was not controlled by the dam. The Beervlei Dam was already built by then. Beervlei Dam for flood control, not for irrigation, although there was an attempt to use its water for irrigation for a while, but that's supposed to have happened. And when it did happen, it made a lot of soil downstream from the dam unfarmable because of the salt getting into the grounds, and you couldn't grow crops anymore. There was warnings about that, and I'll get into that when I do the series. Let me just get this back down to size. Next slide. Okay, give me some feedback. Are you liking the slides and the stories around it? So this picture was taken. Was this on at Hankie or Gamtoestasie? Hi Derek Stewart, good morning. Let me just get into it. Ja, van Gamto soek station. All of the buildings were washed away. It's about 1.5 kilometers from the normal riverbank. Okay, good feedback there. Just Lilani, thanks. Dino, Smoke, Barbara, Ampi. So, got a couple of more pictures of that. The railway station was completely washed away. This picture is near Gamtoos Mont, where the river melts into the ocean, is just up there at the top of the picture. And you see the valley here, and I'll show you a picture of what it should look like. This is the valley floor completely covered in water. Hi Niels, breaking up. I'm going to see if I can just switch off one or two things just to free up some bandwidth. Niels says I'm breaking up a bit. Okay, so this is the Gamtoos River near the mouth, and it's covering all of the valley floor. Niels, if anyone there, give me an indication what percentage you are missing, just so I have a gauge to work with. What percentage I'm breaking up and what that you're missing. Now, this same picture here, the next one is the same area. This is what it should look like. This is where the river should run. The buildings at the bottom here with the red roof, that's the ferry hotel, and I'll show you a bit more about the ferry hotel. But going back to the flood picture, you see the valley here disappear into the distance. This picture is that same area. The ferry hotel is just down here in the bottom corner. Kylie McLaughlin, is less than 10% gone, or are you catching less than 10%? Live chat's weg. I'm still in the live chats. Well, maybe I'm delayed. Okay, so it's just half the word that's gone now and again. I'll speak slowly so it's later. Derek, 15%. Okay, I'll just slow down a bit. That might work. Unfortunately, this is where I live. You've seen most of you have probably seen some of the drone footage. The nearest functioning post office and telecom exchange that's properly running and operated is about 200 kilometers away. We had to build our own Wi-Fi on the mountain tops to get any Wi-Fi here, and my internet is very, very slow. Okay. So these two pictures give you an idea of the difference between normal and flood. The Orange River is the biggest river in South Africa, and no other river comes near it with regards to capacity, flood volume, sorry. But the Kouga River is probably the one that gets the closest when both the Groot and the Kouga Rivier, the Gamtoos River is probably the closest when both the Groot and Kouga Riviers join together. I know of a flood where half of the flow was 2,000 cubic. That gives you, if it's something between 3,000 and 4,000 cubic total flood. And that was what the Orange River flooded this year. So that gives you an idea. 303. I'm late. Good morning. Good morning, 303. Is that 303 British? That's referring to. Okay. This is another picture. If I am correct, this shows the Hunky Bridge. By the shape, I don't have other information on that. Let me check, maybe I have other information on this one. No, this is Gamtoos, so it's not the Hanky, it's between Hanky and Lurie. And, sorry, let me just get that information. And that's the train with the Gamtoos River. This is 1979. This is 8 years after the first flood, after the dam was completed. This is a huge flood again. There's so much information about Kouga Dam. Kouga Dam was not the position that it's currently in was not the first choice of a position. There is a dam that could have been built in a slightly different position that could be bigger, but the cost of that dam was just too much. They could not do it. While you're up there, guys, okay, Lenani, it's better now. Thanks. Give me an indication if I should go slower or faster. If you want me to go faster. So we finished with the first slideshow. It's not the only one. There are more. I'm hoping they're going to work. This, let's see if I can get this one bigger again. Nope, wrong one. What you see here is not flooding. What you see there is the ridges and the bulge is in the Gamtoos River. And it was early attempts, way before the dam was built. This is between the 1900 and 1940 somewhere. I don't have exact dates for it. Could be a little bit later, could be even up to 1950. This was early attempts to control water in the river. The farmers would build weirs with sand and gravel and plant material to keep back some water for the dry periods, because the droughts back then were devastating. I mean, the drought, this drought was devastating, but back then, without a dam, that was really bad. And this was one of several attempts to do something to keep water for the dry periods. This is a flood again. This looks like it is near, yeah, this is near Stuurmanskop. I'm not sure exactly where this was. As you can see here, these pictures were taken from our albums from people who had them back then. I had information from a lot of people. And some of them I did actually have dates, some of them the people were not sure about when it was. There's some colored pictures, so it's not black and white, so it's more recent than the pre-dam pictures. So it's probably after 71 or after. Those are citrus orchards there. This one, let me see if I can make out which one where it is. This one seems to be near Vensterhoek, I think. Those mountains there. Yeah, on the way to Vensterhoek. No, potential side of Vensterhoek. Microphone is sitting perched of a stack of boxes there. I'll try to not move much. Some distance away from me, it shouldn't be too bad, but it's probably transferring through the table. Okay. This is a list of, let me make it bigger. Floods in the orange. This is a complete, someone made a book, cutting newspaper articles out, pasting it into a book. And I had access to this and I captured all of it, copied all of it. And this covers floods from 1905. Let's read through the dates. 1905, 1916, 1932, 1944, 1951, 53, 61, 68, 71, 79, 81, again in 81, twice in 81, 83, 96, but there are some missing. No, that's about the ones that I know about in recent history. Hollywood. Morning yours with information you have. Can you tell us if there's a pattern to the drought and flooding or it's just random over the decades? I actually went and drew all the information that I could find and tried to lay it out for a pattern. And there was a question yesterday in the video, is the Gamtoos Valley in the winter or in the summer rainfall? And it's in neither. It lies between the two. And there's no set pattern. You can see here, and I've looked at the data. Floods in September, May, January, June, January, October, March, September, August, March, May, July, November. So which months did we miss? We have January, we don't have February. So February was without a flood. We have March, no April, May, sorry, I'm just moving it up in June, July, August, September. We've had a flood in 10 of the 12 months, no December. In 9 of the 12 months, spread across all of the year. So the Gamtoos Valley is between the winter and summer rainfall areas. And an interesting fact about Kleinpella is the border between the summer and the winter rainfall area stretch exactly from Potensie up to Kleinpella. So I'm still in that border. I'll see if I can do something about the light in a moment. Let's see. No, I don't want to move it. Something will fall off. Yeah, Don van Eden, Anthony, Linkolf, good morning, Mom, who was watching with me. Remember her early married life with Pa, where they traveled this area. Where are you from, Linkolf? Anthony Bird, November, December, and February. Right. Okay. This is the train bridge at Gamtoos Stasie from another side. This is 9. By then it was already a steel bridge. Before the steel bridge it was a wooden bridge, and the wooden bridge and the railway were washed away several times in the early years. Neil, sorry, I see your message about yesterday. Thanks, Neil. I haven't been able to download them yet. I will. I've got an update here. Oh, Neil, I see it. They came in. I've got an update here. Koga Dam at 101%. Thanks, Lawrence. Beside note for the video. Please note that the low water crossing at Condomo towards the dam cannot be crossed. It's flooded. Okay. Let's see quickly. This is risky. I'm going to try and do this. I'm going to see if I can bring up the picture I just, not the picture, it's actually a video. No, that's not going to work. Let's see if I can do it anyway. I'm going to bring up the video that I just received about the dam. Just a moment, give me a moment. We'll see if I can do that. A bit risky. Let's see. We're now in number 1. Not that. You can hear the birds probably. Let's see if that works. Right. I'll show that video in a moment. So this is 1932 Gamtoos Stasie. Photo taken from Boshoek on the west side of the river. Janie Smit, personally, I'm hoping the overflow is going to flush out and open up Gamtus River mouth. Yes, that would be great. Okay, wait. There's some, before we move on. Anthony, sorry, November is there. Yes, so it's, Anthony, look it up again. So it's only February and December that's out. And that's quite incredible. A flood in every month with that number of floods. Okay, our canoe, you're so interesting and to learn about the river system. Do you allow camping 4x4 trails in your farm? Yes, we have. I've been building 4x4 trails for the last 7 years. They are quite hectic. Starting from grade 2, go up to grade 5. The Jimny, and you're allowed to explore Arcanum, yes. We have had a couple of Jimneys here. They do well, but for the more difficult stuff, they actually need a slight suspension lift. But they do, you can probably do 4 of the 8 trails we have, and that will take you about 2 or 3 days to do. They're long, 90 kilometers of 4x4 trails. And we have campsites and we have a guest house. I've noticed the Koga Dam is leaking in place. Okay, Arcanum 24 asks a very important, interesting question that we're going to cover in a moment. I've noticed that Koga Dam is leaking in places. Is this normal, or does the dam need an overhaul? I know that most damaged walls require repair and refurbishment every 50 to 75 years. So where are we now? From 1970 finished till now is 30 plus 20, it's about 53 years. It gets checked. So inside Koga Dam, there are passages inside the wall that you can walk the length of the wall at different levels. And inside there are measuring devices that monitor the movements and stuff in the dam. And it gets taken after quite well. The Gamtus Irrigation Board is well run, and I don't foresee any problems there. Let's move on. So one of the other interesting things about when the floods happen, and we'll get to the movement of vegetables from the valley to PE, is this is from the EP Herald 1968. When the river was in flood or in drought, then there was a shortage of vegetable and fruits in the area generally, because that was the breadbasket of the Eastern Cape back then. Shortage of fresh fruit and vegetables threatened Port Elizabeth if supplies from the Gamtus River Valley do not come through. The area was the main supply of food for PE, Bitterman Groente, Water Thread Hotel, that's the Gamtus Ferry Hotel. Range bo die trok se dak. So this is another picture of the train, just the top of the train. Remember, this station is 1.5 kilometers from the river. The station buildings was washed away, and this is what remains of the train, is just the roof of the carriages. Sorry, I'm probably moving it around too much. Same here. This is 1971. This was after the dam was finished. Hi, Willie Breed, John van Eden. The rails were narrow gauge. I actually made 2 videos about the train. 24 inches apart is the one video's name. This is what remains of the train carriages. And this is the full width of the valley underwater. And this is after the river has settled down by about 2 meters. So it's difficult to... Hans Weppener, Lurie NG gemeente, hou vandag hulle narkiefees. So anybody in the area, Lurie have their narkie, what's narkie? Narkie festival today. So the train were narrow gauge, the train was installed. I'll show you more about the train in a moment, but I have made videos about train and how the train rails moved floodplains to the mountain with Italian prisoners of war during, I'm not sure whether I think it was World War II. Italian prisoners of war were moved to South Africa. Like you know, a lot of the mountain passes were built with Italian prisoners of war back then. The same with the train pass through the mountains, through the K Mountains into the valley. Let's see if there's more here. No. So just a note here, this is an article about the river. Didn't a lot of our frozen vegetables used to come from the Gamtus Valley? Yes, there was what was it, Harvest Time, and there was another one, there was another company, but a lot of that's changed now. 163 people watching, that's great. If it was in the 1960s and before, us children came along and they collected mountain passes, that's Link. See die Eli Narkie Festival, that's cool. Clive, okay. John, there's a lot more about the rail. I'm not going to go too much into it. I want to just highlight here, Oosterligman trotseer die brullende leeu. The Gamtus is called the roaring lion, the brullende leeu. I think Gamtus translate to the roaring lion. And that was the name of the river because of the roaring sound it makes when it's in large flood. There's a lot more on that, but I don't think we're going to go into that now. Let's go to the next one. Again, floods. Wait. So, let's see, I've made this too large. Okay. So this is, I'll see, sorry about that. This is farm workers being rescued with a helicopter. They've done this as far as I could figure out. They had a boat, but it apparently without an engine, and they used the rope to cross with the boat. Because the helicopter had the winch like they have nowadays. And that's the way they pulled them closer. Dramatic moment for the Kleerling gesin van 6 when they bring helikopter die gesin in die toppe van doringbome so wat 'n kilometer van die wal af gaan haal, van kant van die rivier gaan haal. Boei op die foto gesit en 'n tou is van die helikopter aan die bootjie vasgemaak. Die bootjie is stadig na die wal getrek. Van nou Okay, let me just, I think I need to, we'll move a bit faster now. I think some of these are just flood photos. It's either a farm building or a station building just sticking out of the water with the whole valley again. You can see the valley across flood. The train carriages again. This is the same helicopter rescue, slighter picture. This woman says, ek het aan die tou vasgehou wat hulle vir my uit die ding wat vlieg gegooi het, totdat die ou koue hande nie meer wou nie. She did make it though, so I'm not sure about the rest of her story. Dit wat hier in die boom gehang het, is al wat ons teruggekry het. Ons huise, my kerkleer, alles is weg, says this man. Damage in Eastern Cape floods to property, Water Affairs Department. Crop losses worse than in March flood. This is the 30 May 1981, and this is the 2 floods in 1 year. And again, the crop losses and shortage of food is a problem. This one is, I need to go back to that early one. There is also some very good stories. This is a telephone technician hanging on above the river, the flowing water. This is 1983. I want to get closer. So this is a telephone repair technician fixing the phone lines so that there is communication into potensie. The technician, Pierre Nel, the technician is Mr. Pierre Nel, 'n tegnikus van Imansdorp. What else? This is also, let me just open this up a bit more. Valley evacuated before the water comes. The flooding in the Gamtus Valley is bad. So I'm missing some words there. In 1932. The worst one since 1932. So this was, again, I think 71, it was the worst one since 1932. And the Gamtus Ferry Hotel was evacuated the previous day and is underwater. And they say when the water drops, nothing will be left. 'n helikopter van 16 Eskader in Port Elizabeth moes gister 14 mense in die vallei na veiligheid bring. Hulle was almal lede van 4 bruin gesinne wat vasgekeer is toe hulle huise oorstroom is. Die helikopters het ook noodsaaklike voorrade geneem na vasgekeerdes. Lede van die Eskader staan steeds gereed om te help, maar teen volgende 10 uur was het nog nie nodig om helikopter uit te stuur nie. This is Heston Ferreira. So Heston Ferreira, this is later. This was in 1996. So I went to school with his son. Farmer Heston Ferreira and his rubber duck raced to the rescue of school children trapped on the rapidly rising Groot Rivier. There was a lot of rescue efforts like that. I remember my dad also doing food supplies over the river to trapped communities at some stage when I was young, but that was before 96. That was around 86 probably. I want to go back just a moment to a slide that I said I was going to show. This one. I want to come to this because there's also some very, very good stories. Tangerine is the English for narkies. KP de Jager, thanks. Anthony Bird. Southern Sun Review. Goeiemôre Joost. Dankie hiervoor, is ongelooflik lekker. Ek wonder hoeveel mense hier is in Engels. I do however think we could be in competition about the loneliest road in South Africa. You can expand on that a little bit maybe. Lelani, Joos, gee asseblief jou e-pos en die inligting van die gastehuis weer asseblief. Okay, you can email me at Jorsmalan, JORSMALAN @gmail.com. The guest house phone number is 054 972 9712. All camping is reserved with them. Okay, wait, I have a couple of questions. We'll get to that story. That in a tube was a good story. Betskuman, wait. Okay, so Betskuman, I think this is the first one that I missed, was wondering, can you walk inside other dam walls? Yes. most of them have walkways in the dam walls to do inspections and checks. The Blyde Dam in Hoedspruit is the same. We could walk in the other side and out the other side. Inside with equipment to monitor movement. Yes, most of them is that. Is the Gamtoos River mond oop? Is die Gamtoos rivier mond oop of is daar vloei nou? We'll have to ask Neil, can you check for us on the Gamtoos river mouth? If you're still there, I'll send him a WhatsApp quickly. I think he's the best guy. Neil is my cousin, and let's just go to that one moment before we talk about the inner tube. Neil is one of my cousins, and he's the guy standing next to me there with the purple top. And he's also helping me with some footage and videos. Wait, okay. We'll find out somehow whether the now in a video we'll make after. Arkanum, yours, I would love to check your claim and drive the loneliest road in South Africa. Just want to say thanks for the channel. Thanks, Arkanum. Ali Wood, if the authorities have the 100-year flood line, you would think that the infrastructure would be built accordingly. It always amazes me that these flood lines are ignored. It's also a problem of not knowing the 100-year flood line. The dam was built above, not above, the dam was built to accommodate much more than the 100-year flood line. And in 1932 was the worst one, and then after that, worst one for known history, and then the 1971 one, which was just after the dam was built, was much worse than 1932. So if you have 100 years of knowledge, and after that you that, and then you get a big flood, so that's more than 100-year flood then. Lucy, sorry, your podcast is breaking. Most probably on my side. My internet connection is atrocious. I have most of the time less than 1 megabits per second upload. Okay, too many comments to keep up. Leave the rails until later. Yeah, John will do, but go and look up the rails video. Interesting, I think. Sorry man, this will pass. Yes, it's not bad. This is probably the most gentle flood that the valley has had ever. Probably. Not necessarily, I don't think, but possibly. 99, Derek Stewart, 99 of English speaking of South Africans know it to refer to it as narkies. I agree. Mori or shoe, verslaap ek lekker, Herman. What can we say? Okay, so almost caught up. Paths. Clive, dankie Clive, sien jou nie dadelik. Patches met 'n patches en S. Hoping I'm getting that right. Môre, Habba, môre, nou gaan ons braai, maar eers 'n knertjie, nog 'n storie van Jof. Okay, the story about the inner tube. I want to get to that. So we have the tragedy, but we also have some good. So let's make this bigger. A moment. I want to read it. This is Constable Stroper se binneband. I'm going to try English, but I'm probably going to do it Afrikaans and explain in English. So, Constable Pat Webb with a big inner tube with which somebody went into the bar by probably the Gamtoos Ferry Hotel. Someone saw that the ferry hotel was in flood and he used an inner tube to go into the bar to get a couple of bottles for free. So tussen die tonele van dood en verwoesting was daar ook die ding wat mense laat lag het. Die kostelike voorval was by Hotel Ferry, by die Gamtoos waar alles oorstroom was. 'n Boer van Loerie het met verlangende oë na die verlate kroeg gekyk en baie lus gevoel vir 'n warmmaker in die koue en reën. Maar tussen hom en die hotel was daar 50 tree bruin malende water. Hy het gou plan gemaak, nie lank nie of hy was op pad na die kroeg toe met 'n groot binneband. Goed belaai met borrels het hy toe begin terugroei wal toe. Daar het konstabel Pat Webb hom ingewag. Die boer vertel, die water het my sommer daar by die kroeg deur ingedryf. Ek wou eintlik gaan seker maak of daar nog mense was wat hulp nodig gehad het nie, het hy flou verduidelik. Die drank is in die hotelbestuurder terugbesorg. Dan was daar die kleerling wat die Saterdag aand te lekker gekuier het en sommer tussen die bome in die slaap geraak het. Hy het al drywend wakker geword. Ure daarna is hy deur 'n helikopter opgepik en hy het vertel, toe ek my kon kry, toe swem ek in die rivier af. Ek rond na iets om vas te hou, want my arms was al lam. Net toe kom 'n perd by my verby geswem en ek gryp hom. Ek was net op sy rug of die perd begin byt. Hy byt my skoon van sy rug af. Ek het 'n stomp daar verby gedryf en ek hang daaraan. Ek was net bo op die stomp of ek sien 'n groot poffer. Ons kyk mekaar so in die oë en ek gryp na hom. Toe ek hom los was hy sommer so in 'n bondel pap gedruk. Some of these things you have to love. John van Eden, ek is bly jy het die poskantoor tegnikus gewys. Daai jare het ons altyd komsdiens bo alles geplaas. Het 11 jaar by hulle gewerk. John, ja, that was something. And yeah, I don't think anything like that will happen again. Lucy McIntosh, thanks yours. I live at Lake Kariba in Zambia and love your channel and stand Afrikaans. Great, so last man standing, morning yours. Looks like the snow, it looks like snow in the background. I might need to open up the background. No, for sure, way not snow. Yesterday it was 38 degrees outside, so no, not snow. Greetings from PE, what a day, more, MEL. Hi Emmy. So, let me just, okay, no, we're in the wrong slideshow now. We need to move on. I think we did this one already. Yes, just want to check quickly. Yes, we did this one. The technician, Ashton. Now just a moment, I need to get this to the correct size. I've got it all prepared and then I messed it up just before this started. This is, let's see if I can find the date and then I'll keep it still. I don't know the date exactly. This looks like after the main flooding. No, not really. There's rushes, that looks good. So this is probably 71 or 79. I almost forgot, I need to show you. This was a little bit after that. That's probably 86. The dam wall overflowing. Almost forgot. Let's see if I can show that video from this morning. There it is in number 1. We're going to interrupt this one quickly. No, not going to work. Let's see if I can do it in a different, no, it's not going to work. Okay, I'm not going to be able to show that video here, it seems. I'll try in a moment. There's another way. I can do it in another way. Sorry guys, still this. Let me see if I can fix this. I can possibly do this. there it is. That's this morning's video. That's the dam overflowing. Let me know if you see this, please. I'm going to let it run for a little bit. It's a very short video, so it's going to loop. Let me know if you can see it, please, so I can fix it if it's not running. Climax Africa, dankie Jos. Een goeie dag en ek my 10de ek kom staan maak op jou rivieroewer. Climax, let me know when it happens. Yeah, Emily, thanks. I'm struggling, but I think I'm doing. I'm managing to learn. That's one of the purposes of this life. Learning how to. It's quite complicated actually, and then at the same time not too complicated. Maybe I'm just old. Can you see? Yes. Okay. You can see the video. That's this morning. That video is this morning's overflow. That's actually a bit more overflow than I thought it would be. So, judging by the flow above the dam, this overflow should be something around 70 cubic meters per second. This is quite a bit. But it's about the same as the Orange River is currently experiencing. How good is the quality of that video? With this live stream, I'm not sure that the quality is going to be that good. Let's watch that for a moment. I'm still finishing my coffee is ice cold, but it's great. It's still. To make it a little bit bigger, I also want to see the water flowing at the bottom. Yes. I'm not sure my dad's going to be able to cross that water to get up higher, up closer to the dam. I don't think so. He's probably going to be limited to footage from the left hand side of the dam. At the lower flow rate, you can still cross that little bridge. Habba, the front down the river, they're safe. Well, 99% will be safe. There will obviously be some fields which are closer to the river and might get some flooding, but they should be okay. This will not. Emmy, how will this impact your farm? Not this farm, Kleinpella, but my dad's farm. I don't think it will impact it. I don't think the water will be high enough to do anything. So just so everybody clear, because there was some confusion in the comments yesterday. Okay, let me know, have you seen enough of the overflow? Do some more pictures. We can come back to this one. We'll get back to it. I want to get back to this one. Okay, so just so we're clear about this. What you're seeing here is the Gamtoos Valley, Gamtoos River in the Eastern Cape. I'm not there, I'm in the Northern Cape. There's the Orange River here. We're talking today about the Gamtoos River and the Kouga and the Groot that forms the Gamtoos. Herman Oggenberg, I'm sure about the last overflow. Wanneer was die laaste oorloop? Nie, maar dis die eerste oorloop wat ek sien. En ek is nie meer 'n kind nie. Herman, I several times, I've seen it in 79, no, not 79, I was too young then. I've seen it, I think, 83, and again 86, and 96 in 2015, I think there was 96 in 2015 as well. I'm not sure about that. I remember one where I was walking. An interesting thing, let's just see. What you can see in the middle of the picture there, a horizontal line that enters below the water running over the dam. That is a walkway. And around, I think it was 96, I was walking on that walkway and walk under the curtain of water. And there were fish and palings, eels falling with the water, and they were dropping on the walkway as we were walking there. So that was 96. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody that you're not supposed to be able to walk there. Ellie, Emmy, oh, we thought we were by me. No, this is about the 8-year drought that finally broken with a small flood. Hi, Richard Olofse, last man standing. Imagine all the irons in the air. It's great standing next to running water like that. I mean, okay. This is in the background here, some noise. I'm just going to stop the irrigation. Oh, this stream has been going on for an hour. Let's get, this is, just get in there. This is a much, much higher flood. Looking at the construction work at the bottom of the dam, this could be 1971. It could be 1979, but I suspect it's 71. You can still see the final work on the dam being done. So this, you can see there's a lot more water flowing down there. Derek Stewart, see you in the next one. He has to go. This looks like the same one. Interesting now, you can see here the small towers on the dam wall were built to reduce. If you saw the video I made a couple of months ago about the name of the video is Koga Dam, like you've never seen it. That is where they built the model to see what the overflow will do to the dam, and they found vibration in the dam wall, and they built those towers to remove that vibration during spill to protect the wall. Now the smaller of the towers, if you look at their height, and you look at their height here, you can see that there's, in this picture, almost, I'm guesstimating here, but it's almost 1 meter deep water. Derek, great. Almost 1 meter deep water flowing over the wall. So in 71, that was a lot of water. You can just see the whole valley below the dam. It's just a maelstrom of water. This is a very, very rare picture. Very rare. This is the only picture that I've ever seen of the emergency floodgates open. Last man standing, quote, sometimes known as the waterfall effect. Negative ions are released whenever water collides with itself. We reap the benefits by breathing them in. That's probably part of why waterfall is so mesmerizing. So back to this, back to the overflows here. This is the only picture that I know of the emergency gates open. You can see by the height of the water. I actually, when I'm doing the series of videos, I will try to hide this kind of thing more. When I'm working like that, I'll be able to get the better quality picture, but I think I have a picture of the overflow. Just remember this one. We'll get back to it because this area is way above the riverbed. and the river is filling the whole valley up to that. This is just some old pictures of the dam being built. Okay, now a question asked earlier about the dam leaking in spots. That is probably pretty normal. We have talked about it. The dam was not built, the wall of the dam was not built in one single pour. It was built in separate columns with interlocking sides of the concrete. And you'll see it in another picture, you'll see it better. So it's entirely possible for water to find its way through the joints. And the Kouga Dam, first double-bowed dam wall in, let me see if I can get the, probably not going to get the light better. So the Kouga Dam wall was the first double-bowed dam wall built, and the pressure of the water pushes the dam together. So those different interlocking blocks gets pushed together by the weight of the water, and it gets pushed into the mountain. You can see here how the different sections was built. That is on the right hand side there, that's the measuring and the water outlet that kind of looks like a tower sliding up the mountain. This is the gap in the mountain that was blasted into the side of the mountain, excavated into the side of the mountain to allow the dam wall to push into the mountain there. There's a question here, do they generate electricity there? There are three generators, three 1.2 megawatt generators, but they were mothballed. There's not enough water to use to generate electricity. And here you can see, let's see if I can, here you can see the dam being built into that slot in the mountainside where it pushes into to get its strength. Am I going too fast? Am I going too slow? Is it good? Give me some indication just so I know how to adjust. Azure, for me this is the first South African live stream that YouTube recommended to me of a channel I'm not subscribed to. Curious stuff as I drink my coffee. Azure, great news, means that some algorithm somewhere picked it up, which is good because YouTube seems to work in ways that kind of promote clickbait and stuff like that. Sometimes difficult to get good information, the kind of information that you actually want to see. There's a good documentary on YouTube about the Hoover Dam in the USA and how it was built. It explains dam construction very well, yes. CDLE, mothballed, I've never heard that so before. Mothballed means packing, storing stuff so that it can be reused later on, recommissioned later on. They do it with ships when it's not wartime and things like that. Herman Lochenberg, you're doing a great job. Thanks, Herman. Good, good, good. Keep going. Haba smoking Zaid Lelani is. Niels, in verband met wanneer daar gewoonlik vloed, lyk vir my of asof die gebied baie reën kry in lente of herfs. Ja, Niels, it seems like that. And the data that I got together until recently indicated that spring was more prevalent, but the last couple of floods were in June. Now we're in September, spring again, so It spread fairly evenly, but most of them was between September and October, I think. Jason, Nicole, how are the dam levels of the dams further down the Kouga River? The Kouga River just stops just below the dam. Then it becomes the Gamtoos River. And the Gamtoos River is very short and it mouths out into the ocean. There are no more dams below the Kouga. MEL, perfect. You are keeping me company while I work. Working on YouTube. Emmy, great. Leon de Pre, Joors, dankie insiggewend. Hoop regtig daar gaan nou 'n dankdag by die kerk in Kouga gaan. P areas, I'm sure will be. I think they already were before. Okay, next one. No, something is wrong. I'm in wrong. We're almost done with the pictures I have prepared. This is a little bit older history. This is from around the pictures I'm showing now is between the 1880s and the 1910, roughly in that area. This is, as far as I know, this is produce, vegetables and fruit being taken from the Gamtoos Valley to PE. Before the railway was completed, with the railway bridge over the Van Starens Valley, produce had to be taken by ox wagon, and it took about a week to get to Port Elizabeth. After the railway was built, they could get there in about a day. Patches, so leer ons Joors, ek het nou vir die eerste keer 'n YouTube klip gestuur, die dam wat oorloop. Ek sien jy moet die klip 'n titel gee voor jy hom kan stuur. Is that on YouTube, Patches? Yeah, you upload, give it a title, and yeah, you can do a lot more. You can give it the thumbnail, but it can do the rest automatically. Okay. Let's go to the next one. This is the ferry at the Ferry Hotel. This is how, before the railway was built and the road bridges were built, this is how you crossed the Gamtoos River. And I've seen pictures somewhere of them putting ox wagons on the ferry. That must have been something. Let's see if I can see a date on this. This is 1890. Side view of the pontoon. Sorry. In the 1890s. See if I can get it bigger there. Yeah, in the 1890s. This is a horse cart. Some oxen. The pontoon at Gamtoos Ferry, 1878. Is that correct? Let me see if I can get a better view of that. So a photo in the Port Elizabeth main library. The pontoon at Gamtoos Ferry, 1875, shows the ferry keeper's house and the horse-drawn wagon waiting to cross. The Gamtoos River wooden trestle bridge was constructed in 1903. I need to get back. The next picture, this is Van Starens Drift in, sorry, something in my throat. I need more coffee. This Van Starens Drift, 1880s. This is a car crossing Van Starens River Drift. Now, if those of you who don't know the Eastern Cape that well, Van Starens Bridge is It's a really high bridge. I'll show you in a moment. Let me show you. Let me find that picture. Give me a moment. Consider this. This drift where this car is crossing. Let's see if I can go to that picture. I am standing where the car is crossing the river in this picture. This is me standing in that spot with my dad on the old Van Starens bridge there in the top, with the new Van Starens bridge crossing the valley above him. So that's three generations of drifts, bridges to cross the Van Starens. And the Van Starens was the main hurdle between, one of the main hurdles between the Gamtoes and Port Elizabeth. Lelani says my wife must bring me more coffee. She's on her way to the farm now from Kakamas. She was working yesterday, so it will be a little bit before she's here. Let's just, before we continue, one or two questions that I want to answer here. Put an engine on the boat patches. Back then there were no engines that would fit on that, I think. But the ferries are such efficient vehicles, you don't need much to pull the ferry across. Niels is asking, will it be possible to increase the height of the Gamtoes dam wall? Let's just go there quickly. Slots into the mountainside, and the base of the dam, this is a very interesting picture. How did I miss this one? Oh, you see the top there. The dam and its foundations were built to be able to raise the dam wall, but they tested the mountain, and the mountain cannot support more dam, cannot support more water. So it was designed to be able to expand, but they found that it would not be possible to raise the level of the wall because the mountain cannot support it. I'll see at the end, if I can find something. I have a picture that I can show where the problem is. One of them is they found was not stable enough, so they had to drill 50 meters deep into the mountainside, put steel in, pour concrete in to stabilize the mountainside so that it can handle the pressure that the wall is exerting on the mountain. Curry in 1880. Well, yes, I don't know exactly when the first cars crossed. That picture might be later, but that still is the drift where they cross through Van Starens. Yeah, Fani, I don't know. I can't tell you about that. Maybe someone who knows the history of cars better can help with that exact one. Herman sê gaan pantof koffie later. Herman, see you later. Let's get back to the Van Starens, and this is the last. I think this is the last picture I have prepared. Jason, Nicole, do you remember the PPC Cement TV advert from way back? Yes, I remember it very well. I know some of the people who were in that column marching across the small bridge. I think Fani Footer is the one of the guys marching across the bridge. Smoking Z at Alice. Nowadays, some people can't straight. I missed that. CDL Vrouwlief, that is such a cute word. Betchkom sal wonderlik wees as iemand drone footage can doen. So Betchkoman is commenting that it would be wonderful if someone could do drone footage. I actually had a bit of trouble about the drone footage that I took next to the wall. Someone complained to the Civil Aviation Authority about it because they said I was taking drone footage in a national key point, and that's not the case. I have the list of national key points in South Africa, and Kouga Dam is not on that list. So it would be wonderful. I actually have a picture. Let me see if I can share that picture with you. Someone, it's not the greatest, but one of the people working on my dad's farm took a ride with someone in an aeroplane yesterday. Let's see if I can get that up here. That might take me a moment or two. Yes, this was from yesterday. This is not bad. It's not drone footage, but okay, let's see if I can get these up quickly. I need to do something here with something. Just a moment. I'm just working on seeing if I can. I'm getting so much material. Sometimes there's just no way to keep up with all the material. Let's see if I can get that one patching. That's them copied. Now I have to add another source to the stream. What is a national? Alania Hanneke is asking, what is a national key point? She's never heard about that. The national point is a point that the government identifies as a national point where security must be had at a certain level by the owners or controllers or people in charge of that point. It's a specific prescribed, and you cannot fly near it, you cannot take pictures of some kind near it. It's and the Minister of Police has to manage that through whoever control key point. There are some dams that are national key points. Vaal Dam is one of them. Koga Dam is not one of them. So, okay. Herman, okay. Last, is that the bungee jump, not the bungee jump bridge? Van Starens has a name that people tend to avoid, but it's the suicide bridge because there was a lot of suicides committed on it. The Van Starens Bridge now have a big guardrails and cameras on it with contact details to a helpline for people who go there. Jason is asking, is the Mpofu Dam also full? No, but the Churchill Dam, which is above the dam, is actually overflowing, so there is water now going into the Mpofu Dam. I don't know the current status of it. I will have to check it. Blokrans, CDL, last man standing, Blokrans. Blokrans is, Blokrans, I think, are they doing bungee? They used to do bungee jumping at Gourits. Yes, it's moved to Blokrans. The bungee, I did a video about 2-3 months ago when I went to Italy. On my way back, I crossed the Gourits where they used to do the bridge swing and the bungee jumping, but there were some problems with the bridge, so they closed that down. So currently it's the Blokrans bridge. What did I want to do? I want to add a feed quickly. Just make that. Hey, I'm learning to do this stuff quickly now. Let's see if I can get that. Okay, let's go through this. I'm seeing most of this almost let me just switch one off and get this one larger. Okay, so this one yesterday. One of the guys were playing. There's some reflection in the Wetskuman, Rand Water Pump Station are national key points. We were under the South African Wets. Wets is saying that she knows about the national key points. She used to work as Secretary of Security at Zwartkopjes Pump Station 1990 to 1996. That's interesting. So, yeah, I was quite surprised when I got trouble from the Civil Aviation Authority. It doesn't matter that much now. Lelani says the sound is breaking up. CDL nice, local is lekker. Let's go through the other pictures here. This is also the small. That is the river downstream showing some brown waters. But that is the Groot Rivier. This is where specifically this picture is where the Groot Rivier and the Kouga Rivier combines, and you can tell brown water from the Groot River, Groot Rivier. The Kouga water is black, and they will start later on. Is the sound completely gone? Is the sound back? You know, I can see the sound showing here, but I don't know if you are getting it. Let me know if it's back. Okay, so my image is moving. I'm hoping the sound is back. Above the dam wall. Okay, thanks Ellie for letting me know the sound. Okay, here you can see the brown and black water. There's a lot of reflection in the picture, so let's see if I can zoom in on that specific area. But okay, so about in the middle of the picture there, to the left of the middle, you can see on the left-hand side greenish water, on the right-hand side red water. That's the exact point where the two rivers combine. From the right-hand side, in that kloof, the Groot Rivier comes in. From the left-hand side, the black waters of the Kouga River comes in. So that's where the two rivers meet and become Gamtoos. I think, now I see that we have trouble with the sound. This is them flying near the dam wall, above the mountain. Another picture of dam. Ellie's sound is back, thanks. Sound keeps breaking up, thanks. Sound is partly gone, ons hoor het, maar het breek op. Okay, okay, it seems we can continue. We're getting to the end. I'm not sure we got enough. This could be, there are citrus orchards, so it's not on both sides, so lower the dam. This is probably, sorry, I'm going to move it. Okay. I'm not sure where this is. This is probably, judging by where, this is probably close to the landing strip. This is the last picture I have. I think that's Jason, Nicole, yours. The recent floods in the Western Cape are terrible, but I wonder how much of the damage was avoidable. I sense people are building on floodplains. What's your opinion? People have always been building on floodplains are the most fertile soils because of the silt deposited there. It's often the most fertile soil. So people are going to be doing it. Building houses on the floodplains, that's a different story. Just give me a moment. I want to do something quickly. Take that picture off. Phew. The light background is making me dark. Let's not put it on me. I'm going to put, not that. Let's put that. This is again the video that I received a while ago from this morning. Okay, so let me just move this to top. I should have done this earlier. I don't know why I didn't do it. The question about building on floodplains, people are always going to build there. You will see if you look for some, I think middle of last year, I made a video of the Orange River lying right in front of my house here. The water was here. And after that, the levee was built to keep it out more. All of the trees that were 88 or 76, both of them are big flood. And I don't know, what can you say? Some people just have their house flood. After the flood they clear it out again, return, and that's the way they live. Yeah, what can we say? So everybody, this has been an hour and a half. It doesn't feel that long. It felt like it was quite quick. I don't have anything else prepared to show you. I think that's about it. See if I can get the image, but I don't think I'm going to get the light better here without doing some major stuff and possibly losing the stream. But I think we're going to stop the stream soon anyway. Are there any other questions? For instance, I'm going to make it my data, send it to me. I have to download it through a very slow internet. To get the best quality, he's going to send it to me at Fusion, which takes a long time. Then I'm going to edit it, so it's probably going to be later today. So Smoke says, sorry, I'm having Wi-Fi problems, sound and pitch comes and goes. Probably on my side that the problem is, not on that side. So let's say maybe I can finish a video, an update video by to the end of the day and show some good footage. We've all seen it run overflow now, so now the big wait for it to overflow is past. Now we're just going to make a nice video. So everyone, that's it from me and from Milo down there. He is down there. Milo, say bye vir die mense. That's it from me. We'll see you on the next one. I'm going to leave that on for a couple of, let's say a minute or so. Anthony Bird, thanks for the interesting 90 minutes. Anthony, it was great to have this. I just love this interaction. I don't want to do too many live streams because just doing live streams, I don't know how good that is, but I like making the other videos. But the live stream is great, the interaction is great. John van Eden, for your first time, despite small issues, you have done well. Thanks, John. It's not easy to set all of it. I've got an old phone up there, a camera, and some wires and stuff running with different stuff, and some of the stuff didn't work. But I think next time I know a little bit more about what to do. Okay, that's it. Thanks for everyone for watching. I'm going to switch off my camera feed and I'm going to leave this water for another minute or so. and then I'm gonna stop the stream.